shrimp.
Yeah.
Love the seafood boils.
Yeah. Oh, that one dude that got caught. He had a church here, church in Houston. You know, they say he spent over 10 grand in just crab legs.
Oh, I'm about to say, I know it's a pastor got that from Durham.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. He made a national news.
Made national news,
He going to jail.
But, you know, the video I did on it, there was one on a list of things that he was purchasing with his money. He said he spent over 10 grand in crab legs. This nigga had a crab demon on him, man. But you supposed to be a teacher of the word? We're gonna get you niggas, man.
Right.
Damn, man.
He ain't spent $10 on a lamb or steak.
Right.
Spent 10 bands on crab legs.
Just a cord.
Oh yeah.
That's bottom feeder. Call him a bottom feeder.
Bottom feeder. Shit, you might as well eat a silverfish. I know what a silverfish is.
You ever notice, like, when somebody's talking about health, like eating like food in general, when it comes like, I'm trying to change my diet, you know, eat new things, and they'll go off a list of food they eat. They always mention shrimp.
Of course. You're right. Of course.
Always. I love some shrimp though.
It's good.
That's something like I can't give up, even though I'm trying to go on this health journey. That's what they always insinuate to.
Eat a handful of roaches.
And all the information that came out about those foods, the animals had parasites, they had disease. You eat the wrong batch, you might drop dead.
That's what I'm saying. Silverfish. You might as well eat that shit.
Oh you might as well. You might as well.
That looks like a bug that I killed on my floor the other day.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like that looks like a bug, you know?
Yep.
Like a silver roach down there.
Exactly.
You put a bug under a magnifying glass and blow up the picture, you'll find the bug look just like that. That's his cousin.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a cousin of the sea.
Yeah, literally.
It says they're harmless, but I mean, it's like you don't want to look at it. You know?
Damn sure don't want to eat it, bro.
But Jake might as well. You know? You open up a can of worms and eat some damn crab, lobster. You know? You ever seen the bottom of it? It's look creepy, man.
Yo, I don't know if it was crab or lobster, but you know your parents have it in the kitchen sink. That shit was moving. I was like, yo, what is that? I used to look at it. I was like, y'all about to eat that?
Yo.
Yeah, we got some lobster. You know, the mom's she happy in the kitchen.
Yep.
She ain't happy when she cooking rice and beans and chicken.
All the tribe women, where they got some shellfish, they got that fucking newspaper. They be going to fucking get it, bro. Right. All the tribe women.
They got that little butter.
Yeah. Butter, got that garlic. You know? You got it out.
It's the book of Psalms 97 and verse 10. It says, "Ye that love the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, hate evil."
Yeah, we hate evil. We hate those things, man. You know? That's why the scriptures say the time will come where the true worshipers of the Lord, you know? And we look, we rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability. We can't get it right in these bodies, man. You know, but our people not even trying. They're not even trying. They'd rather not, love the Lord over some salt and pepper or some lemon pepper over some damn shrimp. And who we have to thank for that? You devils. You Edomites, man. Because you push that as a delicacy. Because that's what Jake be like, yo, I'm eating good, got the steak and shrimp. The steak is cool, right? But not the fucking shrimp. You got it.
If I may, brother, if you go into the history, they said they used to sell that at the
prison
CC camps.
Yeah, prison. That was prison food. Yeah.
It's the book of Psalms 97 and verse 10.
And the scripture say that this man would turn things upside down. All right? Turn things upside down. You're going to go to the bottom of the ocean and get some food. You know, when you fish, you caught some of those things, but those are things you threw back in the water. That's why Revelation 11 destroy the earth. Why do you think the waters look fucking what's the word? Murky. You know what I'm saying?
taking out the water filter,
Yeah.
taking out the cleaners.
Yep. You got that.
The book of Psalms 97 and verse 10. You that love the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, hate evil.
Mm-hmm.
He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked.
Yeah, the saints are Israelites. Psalms 148 comes to mind, man. I believe Psalms 52 as well. All right? He's going to preserve us. Why? Because we love him. We don't love this current state. We don't love this current age. We don't love this world. This is what 1 John tells you. He that loves this world is an enemy to the Most High. Why would we love it? Wickedness is ruling. All right? The wicked is ruling.
Yeah, I was asked the other night by Jake. You know, he asked like, how old do I want to live to? How old do I want to live till? And I'm like, to be honest, I don't look forward to getting old in this place. And that's just the truth. You know, I don't look forward to growing old in Mystery Babylon the Great. Because what is there to look forward to in this wicked, simple kingdom and society?
Death.
It's nothing to look forward to but death, sickness, cancer,
horrible times,
disease, virus, horrible times. I gotta work till I die.
Yep.
Uncertainty. Mm-hmm. That like, what is it to look forward? We young and we in the days of our youth and we surrounded by madness and wickedness and it's only getting worse and it's only going to continue to get worse.
Yep. That's
not like we're not looking forward for that. We're looking forward to the kingdom of heaven. We're looking forward to immortality, eternal life, righteousness. We're not looking forward to having to work until we're 80 years old.
You devils do. When the kingdom comes, yes sir.
Yeah.
Yes sir.
Shit, they gonna work till they drop.
Yeah. We gonna like the song. We gonna work it to the bone. Come on, let's work. Yeah. Work it to the bone. Come on, let's work. We gonna work it to the bone, man. Look at that Nat. Was it Nat Turner in the beginning? Grandma was talking. She was rocking back and forth. So he was talking. He didn't get no response from her, and she was dead. That's like the beginning of Nat. I believe it's Nat Turner. Beginning of it. Birth of the Nation.
Yep,
Yeah.
She was sitting in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got it, boy.
Right, this is Psalms chapter 109. There's a lot in here, but I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm gonna start at verse 12.
Yeah, what spirit tell you?
Let there be none to extend mercy unto him, neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children.
Yeah, this man don't need no damn favor, man. For what? The Lord showed this man enough favor by letting him rule for a little bit. Lord didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Lord didn't have to let this devil rule. He could have just had us over these heathens from the jump. You know?
Let his posterity be cut off, and the generation following, let their name be blotted out.
Mm-hmm. And their name will be blotted out. You know?
Flee away as a dream.
Exactly. You know? Also, Isaiah 14, it's what the Lord said he'll leave neither root nor branch. You know?
Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord.
Yep, and they are being remembered now. All right, and we're calling it out. All right, in which Esau is trying to take control of the narrative, but guess what? The Lord has him in his back pocket. All right, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As rivers of water, he turneth for whatsoever he will. All right, in which he think he's doing his thing. Oh yeah, we're gonna get him off the streets. You know, fine. That's prophecy in itself. You know? And the scripture also says the Lord is holding back at the angel at the four winds of the earth until the elect, his elect is sealed, with the paraphrase. So, you know, go ahead, take us on the streets. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things.
Yeah.
You know?
Take us off the streets. That's just gonna be another step closer to the end.
Yep.
And it's no coincidence. He talking about UFOs now. It's no coincidence. He talking about black men coming off the spaceships.
Yep.
It's no coincidence. They talking about they seen black men coming off the spaceships. With this on the moon or something like that.
Yeah. And you can imagine how he saw have it turned anyway. He come up with a way that we don't know because they look like black men. So now we got to target the black man, and we got to vet. We got to see. We don't know. They could be an alien. They could be a UFO. They could be coming from under one of those checks. UFO. Straight. Sure. You want to sit down, bro? All right. I mean, go to cool over there and sit down if you need to. But that's where you can see them targeting the Jake.
Yeah, and they've been talking about the Lord a lot lately. Oh, we found a place where Yahweh Shai healed the blind. We found a boat at the bottom of the Sea of Galilee. Now they talking about Noah's Ark more and showing that there was proof. Like now they starting to come out and speak. It's 2025.
Yep.
Now they starting to come out and speak about the Lord. They coming out and starting to speak about so-called finding the locations he was at.
They have to, because once again they want to control the narrative.
Yeah. And don't forget they talking about it's a alien interstellar object coming towards Earth that should be here, but it's September next month, or by December. And they talking about UFOs more. It's no coincidence.
Right.
So now they gotta, like you said, they gotta try to control the narrative and try to grab the minds of the people before because everything gonna get exposed in there anyway. The truth always comes to light.
That's right.
And let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Let them be before the Lord continually, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth.
Yep, and the Lord will. All right? And make the Obadiah. So
you're going to cut the memory of them off from the earth.
That's right.
So, because after they do their bid of hard captivity and building up our kingdom, they, like I said, it's going to be like a dream that fleeth away. We go straight up wipe their memory off the earth. Ain't going to be no statues found of them. Ain't going to be no statues found of them.
Right.
Ain't going to be no books found of them.
Right.
None of that. It's going to be a distant memory. The elect of the nation of Israel going to know who they is, but Esau, Edom not even going to be taught.
Right.
Because he ain't even going to exist.
Oh, the brother got the precept.
This is the book of Job, chapter 20. I started verse 5. Yeah, it's the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 5. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency bound up to the heavens, and his head reaching to the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Yeah, it's talking about you, Edom. Right? So-called white man. Right? Blanco. Right? It's talking about you. Okay? Perish forever like your own dung. This is going to be a distant thought. Not even a thought. You don't think about, you don't think about the crap you took after it's going down. It doesn't come past your mind twice. You know?
Just like how they try to say the lost tribe, the lost tribes of the nation of Israel.
Right.
No, it's Edom just gonna be gone.
Yep.
You ain't even gonna say the lost tribes of Edom. They just gone. The name ain't even gonna be mentioned.
The king like, what's his name? Remember what's his name?
Yeah. What's his name? The vile one. The vile ones.
Right.
The base men.
The hobby of death. He will destroy your home as well as his.
The cancer of the universe.
Yep. The plague.
Can't get right.
Yeah, all that. You got it.
This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 7. Yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Yeah, like his own crap. He's gonna perish. No more. Right?
Yep. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Yeah.
We ain't even gonna be able to. And we ain't even gonna be able to go point him out nowhere or travel nowhere to go see one.
You don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to see you devils, man. Like, think like, let me pull it up, man. Let me pull this up real quick, man. Do you want to see this face? Like, who wants to see this face, bro? You want to look at a face like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You look like shit. You look like one of them zombies or something.
You want to see a face like that? Is that a face you want to see? I don't even think a mother would love that face. You know, it's a face a mother would love. I don't even think a mother would love that face. Put that back in the womb. You know what I'm saying? Put it back in the womb, goddammit. Yeah,
Yep, read verse 9 kind. Yep, this is the book of Job 20 and 9 that says, the eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him.
Mm-hmm. God that see him is going to see him no more. He's not going to have nothing, man. Everything's going to be coughed up. And even him's going to be brought to a fucking crisp, man. No more Edomites. No more Esau. No more little devils running around, man. Everything's going to be at a peace for the Israelites. You know? He's going to still give you heathens hell. So where we at?
I got one more verse. This is verse 109, Psalms 109, verse 16. Because that he remembered not to shew mercy.
Yeah, because he remembered not to show mercy. Going back to James, the 2nd chapter. Matter of fact, get James 2 first. Hold that. Drop that. Get James 2. James 2 and 13.
But persecuted the poor and needy man.
But persecuted, who's the poor? We the poor. We the poor, man. You know? And we the needy. We don't have nothing. You know?
That he might even slay the broken and hurt.
Yep. And he did that, no?
And to this day, you see slaying the broken in mind.
Yep.
You know? It's 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they broken in the mind. You know? Broken spiritually, mentally, and physically. And trauma is carried down through the generations because we so fucked up. We fucked up to this day. You know, emotionally unstable, mentally unstable, a bunch of crash outs. This pain.
My baby brother, that's where they say that PTSD come from. This is the book of James, chapter 2, and verse 13. It says, for he shall have judgment without mercy.
Yeah, the so-called white man, woman, and child. The Hebrew Edomites, that's the biblical nationality. So what if some don't believe? We're not asking you to believe. All right? You're going to have judgment without what?
Shall have judgment without mercy.
Without mercy. Right? Because you got to remember, the tables are going to turn, man. The tables are turning now. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon, right? I believe it's the 5th chapter. You know, standing in the face of such of those that afflict us, but we paraphrasing. The righteous man shall stand in great boldness. Us out here prophesying your downfall, right? as a part of us getting mercy. Lord showing us favor.
Just like the scripture say, you know, just like as the Lord gave us all this evil, he gonna give us good.
Right.
That's gonna be mercy and compassion.
Good.
The book of James, chapter 2 and verse 13, it says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy, that hath shewed no mercy."
Yeah, they didn't show us any mercy. Right? You know, post-slavery, this man kept kicking our ass. And he did it by the pen. There was unrighteous laws and decrees. All right? See, when that whip was to your back, you knew who your enemy was. All right? But now that whip is in that mind, then this man's the best thing since sliced bread. Not knowing he served to delete you, man. To give you hell. And he has not let his foot off the gas. This man has not let his foot off the gas, man.
He about to floor it. The foot already on the gas, but he about to floor it.
Yep. And like brothers say, he's in the corner now. So what does an animal do when they're in the corner? You know?
They finna fight everything in sight.
Yep.
They gonna hurt themselves trying to hurt you.
Yep. Going back to Revelation 12 and 12. He should come down with great wrath, knowing that he had for a short time.
If I may, brother, what's the devil that's on the $20 bill? Said he wouldn't put down the sword and came up against
Andrew Jackson. Yep.
So he didn't put his sword down for, I forgot,
1 hour.
A long time.
Yeah, he did put his sword down for 1 hour. And they said the only good Indian was a dead Indian, man. And these were the leaders of this nation, man. You know what I'm saying? And they have fucking offspring, Joe.
Yeah.
You don't think they got the same mindset? They're all fucking devils, man.
Hey, and Columbus, he raped a lot of women.
Yeah.
They had babies.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the women probably didn't make it.
Right.
They'll probably killed them, but a lot of the women did make it. He had a field day with those women, and he had offspring. They don't tell him how many children he had.
Right.
They don't tell him. You know, he got seed. I'm pretty sure he got seed walking around this day.
Yep. Yeah, man. You know they do. Good. Look at Elon Musk. You know, that's that dude was his son. I wouldn't put it past him. Depending on how old Elon Musk is, I don't know.
And they don't be claiming they they be having kids, but don't be claiming them. You know, they just they get those sex slaves or whatever.
Yep.
You know, and just be having their way with them, and then shit, send them on their way.
Yep. So what?
Just a little bit more on it. It says, like in Job 2 and verse 13 says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy, that have shewed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment."
Yes, we're going to rejoice when this devil gets judgment, man. You know? Because he has not paid for the crimes he has and is still committing, man. He hasn't paid for it, man. All right? And the Lord hasn't forgotten about it, man. It's a 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. Shows a righteous thing of recompense, tribulation, those that troubled you. So the Lord hasn't forgotten, man. This devil's going to get his part. He's going to receive judgment. And we're going to rejoice, man. What the hell is blinking down one Edomite? You know what I'm saying? Isaiah 47. But you got something?
I was just hoping about 3:25. He didn't do it wrong.
Yeah, bring it up.
This is the book Colossians chapter 3
But matter of fact, since you read that, if you get that, is Numbers 30, Exodus 21 and 16.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 25. It says, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done."
And this devil don't believe that, man. He think the Lord forgot about everything that he has done, right? It says he shall receive what?
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse 25. It says, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done."
Yeah, so he's going to receive for the wrong that he has done, man. All right? Look at the conditions of the people in the earth. You know? They got Esau sending over, because those people over there in Ishmael over there is getting sent food and stuff like that. Well, they're getting it from Esau, right? There was a video where those cans of beans and stuff were bombs. And then the goddamn devil, man, you know, he is, matter of fact, what's that, Revelation 6? He was set up to take peace from the earth, man.
It was a video where they had the supplies and stuff,
Yeah.
and the people was crawling, trying to get to it, but the
Yo, Zay, sit right there with it, bro. Oh, yeah.
but the Edomites,
Yeah.
they was like shooting, like toying with them.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Preventing them from getting the goods.
Yep.
And it's a famine has the UN has it's a declared famine over there in Gaza. Like it's officially a declared famine over there.
Yep.
Official.
Yep.
And whose fault is it? Esau Edom.
Esau Edom.
Because he could stop all that shit if he wanted to.
Yep.
Or allow the people to get aid in whatever area.
Mm-hmm.
But of course he's not gonna do it,
Yep. He's serving his God, the God of money.
Yep.
You know? And the scriptures say the love of it is the root of all evil.
And it's the 1948ers.
Yep.
And this shit. They like, so y'all better not get them people supplies and food.
Right. This man is death.
The chief house.
Yeah.
The chief house like, no, they're not getting nothing. You about to break all the war crimes.
Yep.
Because that's what they doing. They committing war crimes.
Destroying hospitals. Those supposed to be off limits.
Yeah, hospitals, schools.
Yeah. Yep. Places of worship, those things are supposed to be off limits, man. But not to this devil. Right? He'd say it's off limits. But then, guess what? He goes behind his words. Why the scriptures say the words of his mouth are smoother than butter. But war was in his heart. You know?
It says, the book of Colossians 3 and 25 says, "But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons."
Yeah, so he's going to receive for the wrong that which he have done. All right, and there's no respect of persons. Lord, give a damn what you got to say about it, man. No, the Lord said, I created this devil. I know what he's capable of. I know what he does. He doesn't deserve no mercy. He deserves to be removed from the earth permanently.
Right. And he earned it.
He earned that.
He earned it.
Yeah.
That's his recompense. Everybody get rewarded according to their doings. And his doings is about to get him this reward he's about to receive.
Yep. Walking papers for life.
Yeah, walking papers for life. He give Jake life sentences, multiple life sentences, and some.
You know, I mean, Jake is still in prison right now for weed and for crack in the 90s. You know? Now it's a slap on the wrist because his children are in it.
Yeah, right.
Hypocrites, man. Any more of that?
No, that was it.
But the scriptures say, Genesis 21, you're going to receive for the wrong that you have done, Esau. Right? there's nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You know? We had to go through ours, you're gonna go through yours, man. And we're still found in your hands, man. What happens when something's stolen and the thing that you stole is still in your possession when the cops find you? They're hauling your ass off, man. All right, Yahweh Shah's gonna haul you devils off, man.
He saw hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And it could not be yours, but hey, you were found in possession.
Exactly.
So you gotta we know it ain't yours, but it was in your hands.
Right.
So you gotta get penalized if you going to jail.
Right.
We know this gun ain't yours. We seen him hand it to you, but it was in your hands.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wicked, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, and verse 16.
Yep.
It says, "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand."
And that's why you Arabs are getting paid back too, because you had a hand. All right. In the slave trade. Okay. Y'all all was in cahoots with one another. But we gotta take these Israelites down, man. Psalms 83 come to mind. That's why you suffering now over there, man.
I seen a video. They still talk shit about us.
Good.
Over there in the Middle East, they call us slaves.
Yeah.
And I seen a video. It was a Muslim Ishmael. She was passing out like waters and food and stuff. And there was some so-called black women standing right behind her, waiting in line, and she was reaching right around them.
Yep.
You like they wasn't even there. Yep. And you know, and the black women, they was dressed like Muslims too, had their heads covered, their bodies covered. Yep. You know, but the Muslim was reaching right around them, up, you, like they wasn't even there.
Yep. That's how the nations look at us.
Yeah.
You know? But that's good. Yeah, you have your time.
Just like when a so-called black person try to go over there to Israel and claim to be a Jew, they don't accept you.
No. And they put you in the worst parts.
Yeah. They'll put you in the worst. They do not accept you.
Yeah. Good. That's good. It's great.
And they're not supposed to accept you.
That's right. Because the things that we go back to Deuteronomy 30 and 7, those curses, the things that we are subject to now, you will be subject to that forever. You know, we're going to always go on top of you. Now, we're going to rule in righteousness, right? And you will be happy. You're still going to be the butt of every joke. You know, we're going to still look at you as fucking nothing. It's like Ezra 6 chapters going into that. Fucking dust on the scale, a drop from a bucket.
They get in the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. We're gonna instill that in you that you ain't shit.
Worse to the crop.
Yeah.
Worse to everything.
You gotta come to your stores, you look down on us and making a profit off of us. I mean, I'll never forget, I was in a Chinese restaurant, a little hood spot everybody go to. And fucking old ass stud dyke bitch was saying, "Oh, I remember you when you was a little boy running around in here. You running the shop now, huh?" He said, "Yeah, I just graduated college." So, "Oh, I'm proud of you." You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking, like, you fucking dumbass. You went to college off your fucking pockets.
Right.
You know, well, there was a stud, so they probably had kids. But you never know, studs be having kids too now. You know? Was you ever see your kids in college? No. But college is bullshit. You know, we just say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're living good off of you, man. And then as soon as you leave, they talking shit about you. You know? Yeah, she came in here last week, a car declined. You know? Oh, he just talk shit, man. You know? But they don't get that even worse. What you got, huh? Slacking for the rent, you know.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, and verse 16. It says, "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him,
yeah,
or if he be found."
Big buck, yeah. Saw her first bid. $200. too fifty. You know? Yeah, man, we were sold on auction blocks, man. If you type in sold on auction blocks, who do you think gonna pop up? Who do you think gonna pop up? The head tribe, man, Judah. If you look good enough, you'll see Native Americans. All right, you'll see the Northern Kingdom, but you gotta really look. The first person gonna pop up is the Southern Kingdom, man, Judah. You know?
Yeah, because they usually had to kill the northern tribes. Because they even in I think it was Goodbye Uncle Tom. I believe it was Goodbye Uncle Tom. It was a scene, and they showed like a group of Native Americans, and I think they spoke on them and said they won't eat. So basically, like the Native Americans, basically like rather fucking starve themselves out straight up. I'm not eating shit.
Yep.
I'm not eating. I ain't drinking. I'm about to sit here and wither away.
That's a cold spirit to be in too, man.
Yeah. And then they showed you also in slave movies what happened if Jake chose not to eat. Remember the one he chiseled out his teeth and put the food down the
funnel.
Yeah, put the slop down the funnel.
Man.
And that's light work compared to the shit Esau did.
Yeah.
And that's hurt.
Yep. Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
Yeah, so you Edomites and you heathens gonna be put to deletion. Because guess what? Where's Jake at? Jake's everywhere. We're scattered amongst all these nations, man. That's why the Lord's gonna come back and take the crowns, man. All right? But mainly here in America, man. All right? The Lord's gonna come back and set things in order. He's gonna take the crown for you Edomites, man. We're still found in your hands, man. They couldn't possibly send us back to the homeland. You know how many Jakes over here, man?
It's crazy.
To put all Israel back in the land, it ain't no resources. Esau don't have that type of power. You know?
That whole region is ours. Ishmael
Yep.
and all of them had to get out of there too.
Yep.
That whole area had to get wiped clean and evacuated.
Yeah. And you know, the scriptures say Israel should be as the sand of the sea, bro. Who counting that? Who counting that? Hell, there might be Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But they like to fuck. It might be Israelites. But Jake gonna fuck. You know what I'm saying? These heathens ain't doing that like that, man. Where we at? That was it? You got no precepts? Get numbers.
Yeah. This is Habakkuk.
Numbers 33.
Habakkuk chapter 2,
35, 33.
verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because of men's blood.
Yeah, spoil means to rob, means to take. Okay?
in the 50s and 60s. But yeah, that what you seen 8 months ago, yeah, yeah, yeah. So go ahead and let that be food for thought and think about what you possibly was exposed to.
Can you see us?
Nah,
Or can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
oh, you
How long has it been like that? Okay. Yeah,
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 17. It says, and there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Yep, and that's what or who? It's so-called America, sitting upon many waters. You can read the next verse. Is ultimately going to rulership. When you control the waters, it means you're in rulership, man. You got sea superiority. You control trade. You control a lot of stuff, man. And that's why America is known as that merchant city. Because what? Because the waters that America sits on, man. Look at America strategically alone, man. The waters America sits on. You got over there in the west, you got Pacific Ocean. On the east coast, you got the Atlantic. In the south, you got the Gulf of Mexico, man, which they try to name it to the Gulf of America. But those bodies of water, that's how you travel around the earth, man. And again, going into that rulership, this core being so-called America, it sits on that power seat right now, man.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 17, and verse 2. It says, With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with wine. Yeah, I'm ready from the top. This is the book of Revelation 17 and verse 1. It says, And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
And then jump down to verse 15 and we'll come back.
This is the book of Revelation 17 and 15. It says, And he said unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Yep. And you want to get that Habakkuk 2, where it says, keep it on some more peoples. So America is known as a melting pot. A melting pot of all type of customs, peoples, languages, especially going to idolatry, all type of witchcraft goes on here. America's, pretty much an all-star, team of wickedness, man. So again, when a nation has, different types of people and customs, pretty much melted in together, it shows again it's a sign of power, man, that the nations are flowing onto this kingdom, man. Just like ancient Rome and ancient Greek Empire, same issue, man. All nations flocked onto who was in power, man. That's why you have different facets of, so-called Roman culture and Greek culture still living today, man. Throughout the four corners of Europe, because at one point in time they ran the earth, and obviously they're in power now, man. In the form of NATO, the EU, and so-called America.
I think I found
You had to have it's two. Yeah, he's a proud man.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Yep. Whose soul is that talking about? Talking about Esau, having no integrity. The devil don't have no integrity. Going into the crimes that he commits around the earth, genocide. He justified by saying, God is with me, and that's manifest destiny. He's God is okay with my enterprise. He got the nerve to say, God we trust, all the evil does on the earth, man. That's pride. You have to realize what God is talking about. He's not talking about the God in the Bible. He's talking about the spirit of demon Satan, man. Which the left-hand side is how this devil got into power, man, by lies, deception, robbery, murder, theft, identity theft, all that, man. And that's how you run this world, man. Capitalism, just greed. But it says the just shall live by faith going to the elect, man. It is, we're in the same system, but we don't live by those rules, man. You know? At one point in time, we might have, you know, being grimy, you know, scheming, being selfish and self-centered. That's what this world pushes. Well, the Lord brought us to the brotherhood, man. You know, the knowledge of Yahweh Shai, man. And that's why we're out here freely giving the truth, not asking for subscription payments. You know, we'll keep teaching if you give me a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? You give me a new car.
We ain't got a cash apps and all the other payment things put up on our channels.
Ping the whole goddamn video. You know? But go ahead.
Verse 5. Yet also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yep. So again, that wine is these philosophies, which we're going to go back to it. Revelation the 17th chapter, you know, is what this devil pushed on the nations, man. You know, democracy, you know, homosexuality, so on and so forth, man. You know, because why? Because he's the man of sin. That's what he came and offered when he came into power, man. Freedom, liberty to do what the hell you want to do, man. As long as you pay your taxes, you know. You could kill somebody, cool, but you're gonna go to jail for it, you know. But you know, again, or if you got a good lawyer, shit, you gotta go to jail, man. You know, plead the fifth, do all these hula hoops, you know. Pretty much, justice goes to who pays the best, man. Who pays the most, man.
You got enough money, you could drag it.
Yeah, exactly.
He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yep. Neither keep it at home, and he's always in somebody else's business. You know how America, especially, polices the four corners of the earth, man. You know, because why? Because they're the knight in shining armor. They're the embodiment, you know, of righteousness on earth, man. Hell no, man. Because you got something I want, I'm gonna pull up, you know, with my tanks and my guns, and if you don't play ball, then you're gonna take it from me, man. We're gonna make up a boogeyman story. You know, we're gonna paint you as a villain in a new face of terrorism, and I'm gonna get tax dollars to take you out, man.
Okay, and that's the spirit. You said that because America is doing that with Venezuela right now. They claim they're doing it for war on drugs and narcotics and crime, but come to find out, Venezuela got oil. I forgot how much, but Venezuela got a lot of oil, a lot.
Like number one in reserves.
Yeah. Venezuela #1 in reserves of oil, so America coming up with this BS story, a war on the cartel. Why you ain't been did it? Cartels ain't nothing new, you know. And why you skipping over? You skipping over Mexico. You skipping over Central America. Colombia right there above Venezuela. You would skip past all these other cartels and all these other drug areas and going to Venezuela. Venezuela got all that oil. So you coming out with this bullshit narrative. It's a war on narcotics. It's the war on what is it Trinidad, some shit like that. Forgive me for saying it wrong if I said it wrong. So they coming up with the you got something we want, so people coming with a bullshit story on why we finna run up in there. Because get it all going down to Venezuela. Somebody did the math. I think it take like a month to get to like the Middle East for a ship to get to the Middle East to get the oil and all that. And they said it only take a few days to go down to South America to get the oil. So they pretty much saying, all right, we got this oil right here down the street. Fuck going to the next town or the next city. We got one right down the street. So yeah, we about to run up in Venezuela. They right here. But that's Esau Edom. Just like what was it? Just like with Iraq in that area, weapons of mass. There wasn't no weapons of mass destruction over there. They just wanted to get boots on the ground over there.
I think I read it earlier, Micah 2. Two. Taken by violence. Because again,
poppy seeds. They wanted to get over there for the poppy seeds and the opioids and oil. Yeah.
I think it's a so-called opioid crisis. It's a crisis because it's Esau on them damn drugs. You know, get that. Read one, but you want that one.
It's the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
It's devise, meaning it's a plan. And these plans they put out, it's not just random. They don't just say, yeah, I'm gonna wake up one day, I'm gonna do this shit. Now they have all these secret meetings, man. Y'all brothers going to earlier, man. These these groups, Bilderberg groups, Illuminati, secret society groups, man. Why the hell y'all going in the woods to talk about some shit? Why you just doing on the news, man? You gotta, wear a certain dress, or type of attire. You gotta have your face covered. Why you gotta have your face covered to talk about shit? Why you can't just come out in the open, man? Because they're hiding what they really want to do, man. According to them devising, these elites, they're pushing their own NWO agenda, man. They don't got nothing to do with you, man. You're not going up there to them groups and World Economic Forums, to these meetings when these elites meet up, man. Absolutely not. You don't got no say so, man. How the hell these unelected officials, these people that you never voted for, are determining policy in your land, man? Because again, it goes to them devising iniquity, man. What?
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Woe means destruction, so eventually it's just going to fail, man. What?
It says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Yep. And you go into that practice is what? Witchcraft, man. Their craft, right? The left hand means, which, going to these campaigns, propaganda, they use the media, man. They use psychology. They know how their brain works, man. They use what they call dark psychology. They create a whole campaign based off of your emotions so you can buy into their agenda, man. And you don't even realize it, man. This whole immigrant crisis, man. You got people complain about immigrants because now their blame is, I don't have a job because of illegal immigrants, or, these cartels, so on and so forth, man. When all this is an agenda being pushed. Now it's mass surveillance. When they going to just be criminals getting surveillance, it's going to be everybody. Because why? Everybody's a criminal now, thanks to your so-called Patriot Act. And there's so much stuff, even going to the executive orders. There's certain powers that the president has, that you don't have to wait for your permission to, to say okay with it, man, to approve it, I was going through a list, I was trying to pick it up. I'll read some of the executive orders the stuff actually has, man. It's off the chain, man. I'm like, why the hell would you need that power? It's literally an executive order to have control over all the media. All media outlets are going to be controlled by the government. That's eventually what's going to happen, man. No more free speech. Because remember, in martial law, the Constitution is suspended. Meaning when you get pulled over, you're infringing on my rights. The government already gave up on that. You don't got no rights. It's martial law now.
Was it during the times of national emergency, right?
Exactly, bro. Because that's how the devil's going to get into it. His NWO is going to use a national emergency. They're called emergency powers, man. So create the crisis, bring the order, Him coming down with great wrath. That's going to an emergency executive order, man. Because the only way you can do that is if it's an event of emergency, man. FEMA and all the groups, man.
Ain't gonna be, I got rights.
Oh, that's done. That's
no, you can't do that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What?
This is Micah 2 and verse 2. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Yep. So a prime example is Middle East. They damn sure going off over there, man. They be pedos over there too. The Middle East, Ishmael got some issues too, man. They be doing, they be doing their little sacrifices and stuff, so they get judged. Absolutely. And Beth Peter's Jake mixed and mingled in there too, But Esau got no reason to go over there and police people, man. And tell them what they can't do in their land, man. It's their land. But you find a way, to get your ass in there. You got embassies in countries that they don't got no embassy to your country. Why do I need American presence in my country? Matter of fact, get on Jeremiah 51:7. Hold that, Michael. Read that again, but yeah. Jeremiah, you got Get 50%.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Yep.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Yep, those philosophies, man, they took on what America pushed onto them. They said, yeah, we'll give it a shot. Shit, you know, with America so-called giving them backing on they did so, man. You know, buying their cars and shit like that. You know, buying into their technology. You know, and their media. You know, setting up puppets in their government. Okay, cool. But now eventually, guess what? They found out that America duped them, man. So about America. You know, and again, when we say America, we're talking about the elites, man. You know, America, you know, is a landmass. We're talking about a people who's running this landmass. It's the elites, man. Job 9:24, the earth's been given into the hand of the wicked, man. So they're the ones doing all this stuff behind the scenes. They don't live here in America. You best believe they don't. They got any goddamn sense. At least they don't live on places you can find on a map. So that's what so-called Rothschild, so-and-so Rothschild lives, man. You'll never be able to pinpoint it. You might be able to point in a state, maybe. Good luck getting to it. Maybe.
Shit. The Rothschilds and the elites, they got their own islands. It's, you know, and the elites, they know of land that they don't share with the rest of the world. So they got more than likely have their own little setups. You know, buildings, stores, etc. You know, little own communities, little own worlds, just specifically for the elites. You know, that you're not allowed to go to. And you could think this just on a real low level like Hollywood or little gated communities where the elites said where you're not even allowed to go up to. You know, where they got mansions and they own police and security. Matter of fact, the 1948ers, I've been in New York City and they got their own areas in New York City. They own school buses, they own police, they own banks. You go in the bank, you just go see a whole bunch of 1948ers with the curls and black hats, like some shit out of a movie. Right here in America.
Yep. Go back to that.
The book of Micah. You want to read down, please?
I can just say,
It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against the family do I devise the people.
Still holding 17 Revelation. It's the book of Micah, chapter 2, and verse 3. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for the time is evil.
and this time was, you know, when it was being spoken by Micah, it was talking about Israelites. You know, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you'll get prophesied against because you're being evil, man. You know, if I'm not mistaken, it's around the time of Babylon, man. You know, that Nebuchadnezzar was going to come and take the southern kingdom down, man. You know, because they got proud, they got haughty. You know, and how did the judgment start? It started first with the elites, man, the ruling class of Judah, man. They got hauled off and brought over in slavery, man. You know, the nobles. Read about that in Jeremiah, man. They got grabbed up and they got sent to Babylon, man. Along with Jeremiah stayed, he found favor by Nebuchadnezzar. But you know, like Daniel, you know, the early children, you know, they weren't poor people, you know, and they were prophets. You know, we went to Daniel, but he was hauled off into Babylon, man. You know, so again, you know, going to now, who does this refer to now, man? Deuteronomy 30:7. The curses that were upon us are going upon our enemies, man. So that family is going to these elite banking families, man. You know, the Lord is going to get y'all, man. You're not going to get away scot-free and get off haughtily, meaning proud, because your plan's not going to work, man. You know, you read some of these quotes that these devils say, man. Let me try to find it. A quote David Rockefeller said in one of his meetings. I forgot what the meeting was. Here's a quote. David Rockefeller, from his own admission in his memoirs, 2002, it says he wrote unapologetically. I said
Unapologetic.
Yeah, unapologetically. It says some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interest of the United States, conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty and am proud of it. So the motherfucker tell you what he's trying to do, man.
You just stated that. You just admitted to it right there.
He just tell you what they're trying to do, man.
Said it unapologetically too.
You know, so they're going against the interests of so-called America because they don't care. They don't care about America. Look what's wrong with Israel. You know, being a lapdog. You know, and America's a lapdog to Israel, man. All that money's going over there, and you got no say so, man.
And Israel said, if you anti-Israel, you anti-American. No. You anti-MAGA. I believe that's what it was. Basically, if you anti-Israel, you anti-American. But since when? I'm confused. Because you don't see Israel saying if you anti-America, you anti-Israel. You know, but that just shows you America's the 1948ers lapdog. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. Yeah, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Again, this talking about who? Talking about Esau, man. You know, especially talking about Esau, man. That's him to an MO, man. Can't be satisfied. He never have enough, man. Never have enough wealth, influence on the earth, man. He wants more. He wants what? He wants your soul now, man. He got everything physical, you know. Everything physically you can touch, it all eventually leads back to the elites, man.
Hey, what was that? Wasn't it an interview between a Rockefeller? I think it was a Rockefeller or a Rothschild. And he was like, the interview was like, what more do you? You're like, what more do you need? What more do you need? What more do you want? You got the food, you got the water, you got the medicine, you got the world in your hands. Like, what more do you need? What more do you? And he said, you want full control of the people. You know? That's where that chip come in. And that's where stigma comes in 666, the number of a man. And that translates to stigma. And a part of that definition of stigma is to show recognition of ownership. Because if you receive the MOTB, you showing recognition of ownership. That Esau Edom is your owner and your God. And his merchandise is inside of you, and now you his merchandise. Just like they said, if you receive the potion injection, then they said it was like a patent or something on there. Like, yeah, you know, like, so now if you got that mRNA technology coursing through your veins, it's you property now. You know, man. Esau Edom on the home. You want to be God. That's the ultimate goal.
And he's gonna stop at nothing, man. He's not even gonna stop against the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. That's why he's gonna get brought down, you know. But he's willing to take it that far. That's how serious he is about his NWO. You know, he don't care, man. He gonna rise through the ashes, like it says in Malachi. I'm gonna build back better. You know, he uses that same language now, man. You know, so America's gonna be a casualty, but they're gonna, in the ashes of it, raise up the NWO, man. The one world order, which is not gonna be able to perform, man. Go back to that Revelation 17. She was grabbing something.
I'm looking for that point I was making. I think it was a good one on about being guys on Ezekiel 24:2. I don't know what Revelation said. Revelation 17.
Just like his house is being made desolate, he said he gonna rebuild. Those nuclear missiles is gonna make everything desolate. And Esau Edom think he gonna come from underground to a white clean table and start afresh. We gonna rebuild and make everything better. We gonna build the new world. Yeah, and like we gonna build it in our image, how we want it to look. But it ain't gonna work like that. Because the elect of the nation of Israel and the angels is going to go down into them bunkers and snatch them elites up.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 17, and verse 2. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
So again, that philosophy, man. So you got over there in the Middle East, you got women twerking. You know, want to be single and independent. You know, have a career. You know, driving cars. I mean, you know, it sounds weird, but this is what happens when the West, you know, that philosophy push on the earth. It sounds weird, man. The women supposed to be kept to the house, the scriptures say, man. Raising up the children, right? But women, again, they want to get on a jet set, you know, go around, you know, travel the world and have, you know, this self-centered lifestyle that, you know, it ultimately brings forth death, because you can't raise no children living like that, you know. You going plane to plane, jet set, sleeping with random people, you know. And first off, where the hell you get all this goddamn money from, man? You know. But again, that's what we push around the folk on this earth. You have women leaving their natural habitat to come to America, to go to college, you know, to learn to be a good slave, have a good career, you know, instead of being at home and building a legacy back home, man, you know. But again, that's what happens when again, this philosophy this cup got passed around the earth, man. And now the nations are guilty as well, man. Because why? Because you're buying into a wicked kingdom, right? When you do these trade deals, you know, you sit at the table with the devil, right? And you bargain, right? You know, how is this even able to be a thing? Because you took out the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American man, you know? Which you read in earlier Numbers, in Deuteronomy, about stealing a man and blood, defiling the land, you know? That issue hasn't been fixed yet, man. But you're gonna come here and be a millionaire. You're gonna park your dirty ass, you know, in the hood with a gas station, at the gas station selling Jake. All men are slop, you know, letting niggas gang bang at the front door, just don't come in. You know what I'm saying? Don't use the bathroom. While the neighborhood that Jake live in, you know, is torn apart, man. Mostly because Jake is a damn baboon, you know. You say they're a bull in the net, you know. But how is it that, you know, someone that has never touched foot on this land can get a grant or a loan from the government and run a business, man? You know.
And they learn to beat the system because they get the grant, and after so long, they have it transferred to a niece, uncle, cousin, or whatever, so they can be tax exempt, and then they just keep doing it. And they just keep doing it over and over again, so they can continue to be tax exempt and to continue to profit off of Mystery Babylon the Great. You know.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17, and verse 3. It says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Yep. And again, going to that power structure. 7 heads going into NATO, right? 10 horns going into the EU, man. You know, which originally the EU was 10 nations, man. You know, now it was what, 30 something, you know. But the original 10 horns, right, was again going to the European Economic Community, man. The EEC, you know, which is Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal being 1. Now they're counted as 2. England and Ireland, which those are 1, and you have West Germany. So these nations came together, right? Going to that New World Order. you read down in Revelation 17, it says these have one mind. You know? To what? To let the beast rule, man. It's your turn, man. You know? Because before South America, you had what? You had England, you had France, you had Spain, you know, Portugal. You know, exactly. It's called Great Britain, man. You know? Why do you think over there in Canada they speak in French? You know? French Canadian. Because again, you don't know your history, man.
Quebec.
Right.
They still got the Queen of England.
They still on the edge. Yeah. Same with Australia, man. They're called Commonwealths. You know? They still reverence the Queen, man. That shit ain't go away, you know? The royal family. These motherfuckers just walking around, you know? I forgot how much their salary is. It's ridiculous, man. Right. And English people, they pay taxes to the royal family.
They don't gotta do shit.
They don't do shit. They just the royal family. That's some shit.
You don't gotta do nothing. Yeah. Don't work. Just exist.
Exactly.
Just exist and just benefit.
It comes down to what? Those are all Edomites, man. Eventually, you know, it's gonna come out, man. You know, before, who was in power over there in England, European nations, it was Jake, man. We were talking about earlier, you know, the Moors,
Yeah.
you know. Because after Rome fell, the Western Roman Empire fell, you had what is called the Holy Roman Empire, man, where the East ruled, which was Jake, man. You had the 5 good emperors, you know. The most famous one is Marcus Aurelius. He was a Jake, man. I mean, look at the damn stone, man. Yeah. They try to whitewash that shit, man. You know that's Jake. That motherfucker got an afro, curly afro like that.
Yeah.
You know, see his structure, you know, his face structure. That's Jake, man.
And he got some deep ass quotes too.
Some people saying some shit. Yeah, the book was called Meditations, which he didn't want to bring it out. It was just his thoughts, it's his notebook. They brought it out, man. They don't look out for that.
Deep ass quotes. He got some dope ass quotes, man. Stoic.
And then after that, after Rome fell, you know, who took over was, you know, the Byzantine Empire, man, which was Jake. The most famous of those rulers was Constantine, right, which was Jake. And that's why you think Jake was going so hard body for these wicked ass holidays, man. You know? Because that's what Constantine instituted, you know, brought together because he wanted to create a one world religion, man.
Yep.
That's why it's called Catholic. Catholic means universal. There's a lot of stuff, man. You know, we can go on all day about this stuff, but that's the stuff you deal with now is because of stuff that happened back then.
Yep.
Why the hell every damn year you're talking about Christmas and Easter?
Combine paganism with
the scriptures.
With the scripts.
Yep. That's what you did, man.
That's why Colossians, the third chapter, second chapter, tells you beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Exactly. Yep.
At the rudiments of the world.
Yep. You know, because again, you know, you have to know your history, man.
Yep.
History, especially as a kid, you know, Jake, you don't want to hear history. It's just boring. Because as a kid, you just think about slavery. I don't want to hear about my history. I came over here on a cargo slave ship. Come on, man. There's a quote. If he who forgets the past is doomed to repeat it, man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's happening. We're the death of an empire.
Yep.
Taxation, inflation, you know, wars. All this stuff is all old news, man. Rome felt the same way. You know? And again, that's why you notice the beast in NATO, NATO, the EU is so-called Rome all over again, man. You know? They're going to fall by the same way, but this time it's going to be divinely destroyed, man. Yeah, I was going to put a nail in the coffin, man. Yeah. They would have did it back then. You know, but we keep on reading on that relation.
Yeah, because it ain't like the Romans just like they just disappeared into thin air. Just like we didn't just disappear. You know? They branched out and started something new.
Yeah, exactly. How they want to say Esau is done away with it. You know? Edom over there in Petra. There's some books on Petra. I was looking on Amazon. I was like, damn, I want to see some books. I can find some books on Petra. Some of these books are like $300.
So, and we could look up pictures of Petra. Some people didn't just die off. They left and went somewhere else. And if you look at Petra, then we surrounded by it.
It's like the same.
The same people and the same structures. The arts in the building, the height, the pillars. Like you look at the White House, you look at these government official buildings, and then you look at Petra. It's like, yo, these things look the same. You look at Greece, look at old pictures of Greece, old pictures of Rome. Look just like Petra.
And that's why quoted earlier, Job 9:24. If not, where, who is he? You know, Esau's not the wicked, man. His history, he tried really hard to cover his tracks, man. That's why he going to that spirit of Cain. He's a fugitive and a vagabond. He's running from what? From justice. He wants to cover up his tracks, you know, from where he left from Petra, how he ended up in Europe, you know, taking over the Japites, the Japhetic tribes. To now what you know as Greek culture, Roman culture. Well, a lot of that stole from Japheth, man. You know, how he runs the government, you know. But nonetheless, eventually, again, it's all gonna come out, man. It's being exposed to who the Lord serves the promise.
Hey, you could pull out a quarter or something. The American coins look similar to the Roman coins, look similar to the Greek coins. They all look the same. They all got eagles on them, and they all got the face on them. Yeah, like they telling themselves.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 7 and verse 4. It says, "And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication."
So again, how should be dealing on the earth, man? A whore, right? And a whore, she don't come up on nothing. She getting put on, man. You know, who's her pimp? You know what I'm saying? Who's so-called America's pimp? Who pimped out so-called America, man? These elites, man. You know? How does so-called America get rich? Slave labor. Old-fashioned. Slave labor, man. You know? That's how so-called America got so rich. Anybody would get rich off of 100+ years of free labor, man. You know? That's a come up. You know? And even still get enslaved because you pay taxes, man. All that money goes to who? Who's in power? You don't get no slip on where this money goes. You know, you had, with Elon, but she was a puppet, trying to go into the things the government was spending money on, right? And it's outrageous, man. Making frogs turn gay, you know? All type of weirdo shit, spending your tax dollars on, you know? Not on bettering your community or getting you a better job.
Going to work and they doing dumb shit like that.
Yeah, spending money on frogs turning gay. JY happening, you know? Again, America is in that power scene because of why? Because of rape, robbery, and murder, man. You know, and it's time to pay up, man. It's going to say we was in Habakkuk, 2nd chapter, about going to that build a city out blood and iniquity, man. You know, blood money. It's cursed. Eventually, it's going to come out, man. And it's going to be the best on you, man. You know, never just get away with all this blood trail. It was Ecclesiastes the 8th chapter. It's against the evil work, you know.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 5. It says, "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth."
So again, who is that? It's not a mystery no more. It's America, man. Someone get a Nehum, the well-favored harlot, mistress of witchcraft. America at one point in time was well-favored, man. The standard of beauty was what? Blonde hair, blue eyes. Not no more. Said Nehum. You know, because again, people don't want to hear the English language no more, man. You know, because again, the nations are fed up. They're tired of hearing, the same rhetoric and stories of America bullying people around the earth, man. You got it?
3 and 5. 3 and 4. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 4. It says, "Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft."
So keep that in mind, man. A lot of witchcraft and deception. You're going to masonry. The foundations of Freemasonry is witchcraft, man. You know, and that's not no mystery, man. You know, even the symbol itself, man. You know, what's it called? It's a compass of some sort. Yeah, yeah. You know, it's all goes into left-hand side wisdom. You know, and the elites, they understand this, man. That's why you going. What was it? It was last year. They had the what was it? What meeting was it? With Carl Schwab and all them. They had a damn witch blessing the damn What? I forgot
Blowing
what meeting
that
it was.
dust and stuff.
Yeah, she was over there, and they just sitting there like it's a normal day in the office. Like, shit, I've been, you know what I'm saying? This bitch saying all type of enchantments, got the little.
She like a fucking, like she look like a gypsy or something.
Doing some.
She look like a witch. Yeah.
That don't make headline news. You know that the leaders of your world are wicked as hell. They're satanic, worshippers of demons and devils. You know. But again, that's how this country was raised up on. The numbers. You know, 33. Why the hell is 33 of goddamn things? You know, it's all left inside vibrations, man. You know, DC, you know, architecture. You know, with the what's this shit called? The obelisk. You know, which that has something to do with Egypt. What is that doing in the capital of your country? You know, how I forgot. Was it Abraham Lincoln? How he's sitting on the chair, got one hand up, one hand down. No, I think it's George Washington. The Washington Monument. Yeah. Look at the Washington Monument. Look at his pose. You know, it's as above, so below. As above, so below. That's the left hand witchcraft, man. You know, the causality. It has nothing to do with the heavenly Father, man. You know, that's why he has these weirdo mathematics, these numbers, numerology. There's truth to it, you know. They use it for evil. They don't use it for good. You know.
Watch out, bro.
The book of Nahum, chapter 3, and verse 4 says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
All them skeletons in the closet, man. All them dark ops, black ops, all them secret, agendas and things that you've been doing on the earth is being found out, man. You know, and these nations aren't playing ball no more, man. You know, at least when it seems like on the surface, you know.
Nah.
Because you know from the top on down, you know from the top on down.
You see what it's
drive by.
Aren't you everybody?
Yeah, exactly.
You said God for everybody.
He said God or Yahshua.
He said it's not for everybody.
No, he said the gospel's for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, aren't you part of that everybody? I mean, Israel's
Right.
scattered
Exactly.
amongst all nations.
But did you see the sticker in the back of his window?
Oh yeah, the God Gnostics.
No, it said God something.
God.
Sacrifice of the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, going to one more time.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, and verse 5. It says, behold, I am against thee, says the Lord of hosts.
Yep, so, yeah, is God for everybody? No. He's against, right? Especially this kingdom, man. You know, you ready?
It says, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face.
Yep, so lifting up a skirt, that's shameful, man. Seeing your nakedness, right? You know? You're not supposed to show your nakedness to nobody besides who you belong to, you know? But the nation is seeing our nakedness, meaning you're ashamed, man, boy.
It says, and I will shew thee nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Yep, so your wicked past, you know? We want to get rid of, your wicked history, man. You think that's going to erase your judgment? No, man. You know? Critical race theory. You don't want to think about slavery no more. Only a certain percent of people own slaves. Therefore, I'm innocent. I never owned slaves. All right, cool.
You came over here to willingly work.
Yeah, they came over here willingly. They bought a plane ticket to come to America.
Ain't no more whitewashing history. Them days is over with.
But that's why, going back to them executive orders, that's why we know the famine of words is going to come in, man. Because how long is the devil going to let, the truth keep coming out, man? It's ultimately the Lord, But he knows eventually he's going to have to make a move, man. Let's see, what are the executive orders to communication?
And when they control the media, that's media blackouts and during those media blackouts, that's them preventing certain things from coming out for the world to see. Like when casualties, violence, and etc. is taking place, it's gonna be media blackouts on it. Ain't nobody gonna know what's going on in certain cities except for the people that live in those cities or the neighbors. It's gonna be word of mouth. You know, it's gonna be media blackouts. They not gonna show what's really happening there unless a journalist or somebody sneak in there. But they might get killed. You know, they already do stuff like that overseas. You know, with journalists and all of that. But they like, now we can't have these journalists and these certain people snooping around because they'll bring certain things to the light for the media.
Here it is. It's Executive Order 10995. It says, Executive Order 10995, it says, has been interpreted as giving government the power under national emergency to seize control of all communication systems. That means radio, TV, telephone. They say telegraph. What the hell? Telegraph, satellite, don't matter what. Everything gets. You can't type right. Telegraph, motherfucker. That's crazy. It says prioritize military. It says government traffic over civilian communication. It says censor or shut down civilian networks if deemed a threat to national security. So no more YouTube. You know, it says censor or shut down Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know, and they're legally allowed to do that, man. You know, so much for your Constitution, right? You know, freedom of speech. Not an emergency.
And you already know with the social media, they can be recording stuff and posting on social media.
Yep.
Why they say during that time, they go seize control of all communications and prevent certain information from getting out, which is why they say information is valuable. You know, I forgot the saying of it, but intel and information is very important and very valuable. You know, which is why right now it's important to get as much information and knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as you possibly can. So when things do go dark, you won't be in the dark. You gonna know what's going on. You won't be moving around, running around in chaos like a chicken with your head cut off. When the lights get shut off, when the Facebook and the social media not working, or YouTube not working, you gonna say, damn, is it time? Is this the time? But the people in the world that don't pay attention, they don't know what's going on, they gonna be flipping. There was times that Facebook or Instagram went down and people was down there having a heart attack. Just over something as simple as that. People was really tripping. And it wasn't even that long ago. It was like in the recent years. Remember, it was like Facebook and Instagram was like down. People, Facebook and Instagram was messing up or wasn't working, and people was tripping. Imagine when fucking the internet ain't working, and you can't make a phone call.
Exactly. That's what they're gonna do. The executive order. Just read it. Executive order 10995, man. You can't call nobody. You know, you can't text nobody. Shit ain't gonna go through, man.
Can't call 911.
Can't call 911.
Yeah, I'm holding Revelation 17.
Can't call an ambulance. Can't do nothing. Yeah. You gonna literally be in the dirt. And they say, and that's a part of war too as well. Cutting people off from communications in the outside world, so they don't know what's going on.
Get 2 Corinthians 2:11.
Oh yeah, I had a precept too.
Get them praise.
This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Exactly. So we're starting first with the elites.
Let's get back to what you were saying about them being naked and they skirt.
Being exposed. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Because again, who really runs the world? That's the question, man. Who's benefiting off all the chaos and the bullshit going on earth, man? It's the elites, man. It all leads back to them. You know? They're the ones puppeteering the earth, man. You know? The stuff that you see and consume on a day-to-day basis, it goes through them, man. Again, we know the Heavenly Father's in control, but the Lord gave him the hand to run up the earth, man. You know? On the left-hand side. You know? So the elites are being exposed. That's what really couldn't be found out, man. You hear about Epstein, you hear about, weirdo shit about certain people that had so-called power. You might even hear stuff about DJ Trump, but you'll never hear no dirt, being massively pushed out of the elite class of fools on the earth, man. The hidden ones.
And even then, they try to keep the Epstein lists and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Good luck getting some dirt on the elites. And if you did, who's going to charge them? Who's going to persecute them? Who's going to throw them in prison? Are they going to go to jail for the crimes they commit on the earth? Absolutely not, man. They'll say, "Open my dead body," So again, what's being exposed is, first off, we're going into our punishment. It mentions Zion because that's our last captivity is on the Esau, man. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob's the beginning of that problem. Here in so-called America, specifically, is where Judah and Israel are pressed together, man. Because the prophecy is about a great deliverance from that of ancient Egypt, man. We've been brought over together to be captive, because when go back into ancient Egypt, when we came into the land, we weren't captives. It was after a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph, that he put hell on Jacob and we got put into slavery, man. And again, going to the Lord, expose these devils. Man. Nothing's gonna be not exposed these last days, man. How this whole setup was all geared towards the elites who comes into presence. The UN. The UN building, I found out, was on land donated by John D. Rockefeller, man. What the hell does that tell you? That they're in the pockets of these elites, man. Follow the money. That's where you'll find the answers, man. All certain of these presidents, they're part of the Trilateral Commission. All part of these groups being groomed to be president. Funded by who? The Rockefellers. It points to many fingers, man. Again, it's going to how the Lord again is turning all back on them, man. And they know that. That's why, they know they have but a short time, man. You proud ass devils, you low level Edomites might not think so, but at least they know they don't got a lot of time left, man. That's why you have Operation Warp Speed and stuff like that. Someone got that second
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices."
His toolbox, man. His tool bag. It's a lot of it's deception, man. Trickery. Illusions. That's what an illusionist does. When you go, you see Vegas doing card tricks. They're called illusions. They play on your senses. Make your mind play tricks on you. Because you can't trust your own eyes. Haters, I swear, I hit the card good. How the hell? That's just low level stuff. How the hell you figured out my shit was an ace of spades? And that's how this devil moves, man. He does hand tricks, sleight of hand. It's real slick stuff, man. His contracts, the language he uses, man. You go in court, if you don't got a real lawyer, your ass gonna be drowned out there, man.
Yeah, they be speaking in
that language, man.
That language in different terms, and it could mean something simple, but hearing, but the language and terms they're using, they damn, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, man, they be real deceitful when they use certain words in court. Because one word could mean, you might think it's one, you might mean they mean something, but they mean something totally different. Yeah, that's where it comes with, this is the devil's tongue.
Once again, his devices, we know that he's gonna have to push his agenda through emergencies. So you everyday Americans asking about things turning back to normal. Normal's out the window, man. For this devil to push his end of your agenda, he really has to make these emergency orders come to play, man. And that means manufacturing emergencies, man. The whole thing with the immigrants, over there now, you got Yemen and the Houthis, and, domestic terrorists now, Now everyday America's got to be surveillance. And again, you go back to these executive orders and these things that they put out years ago. Now they're starting to use it, man. Rex 84. You ever heard of Rex 84? You know, brothers, of course, it's been a while. But you look at things like Rex 84. Of course, we heard of Patriot Act. All this stuff's being put into play now, man. You know? How are they going to be able to massively surveillance every American citizen? Emergency orders. Okay? How are they going to chip everybody? Emergency orders. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it, man.
Hey, just like overseas in the UK with the digital ID. They talking about making it mandatory for all adults to get a digital ID when applying for jobs due to the immigration situation to prevent illegals from coming in and getting jobs. So if you're a UK citizen and you're an adult and you want to get a job, you're required to have a digital ID. That's what they going for, and they mentioned it's to fight against immigration here in America. It's a perfect situation for that. Hey, from now on, all American citizens have to get a digital ID. If you want to drive, if you want to work, if you want to do anything in that nature, you have to have a digital ID and be verified. And we all know all things lead to the MOTV.
Going to the crafty council.
Yep. That's his enterprise. Again, these emergencies, man. That's his back window, man. He has to call an emergency. Think about when a storm comes. Why do you think this devil's playing with the clouds and shit? You know, making these superstorms because that means FEMA can happen. You know, and FEMA has different powers, man. Under emergency, they can do certain stuff, man. When your city's getting hit by a hurricane and FEMA, you know, they issues an order. You know, you're not going to be able to be out here on some normal shit, man. They're going to be curfews. You know, you got to report. You know, if you want aid, you're going to have to play by their rules, man. Have you been vaccinated? You got your chip? You know, that's how they're going to move, man. You know, and that's been in play for years, man. You know, the example, the experiment was Katrina, man.
I was
You
thinking
hear about the shit in Katrina?
Have you watched it?
I didn't finish it, but this is off the chain, man.
Bro,
What about the stories from Jake?
yeah.
Oh yeah. They said he saw it. He was turning up. He was having a field day on
You
Jake.
get mixed emotions, man. You like, yeah, fuck them niggas, but at the same time, it's like, damn,
It's like,
man.
damn, because you know that's our people.
Yep.
That's our people. So even if we don't want to feel some type of way, we go feel some type of way because that's our people. They look like us, and that's us. You know, and the way they was doing our people. There was stories. They said they was on the roof. If it was a roof, and they see nothing but black people, they'll fly right past it and go to a roof where they see Edomites. And the Jake, he told a story. He said he had to tell all the black people to hide inside, and they brought up some white people and some injured white people, and they said the helicopter stopped, and once the helicopter came, then he told all the black people to come up. You know, they had to do shit like that just to get help.
Yep.
It was getting gunned down.
Hell and high water. That's what it's called.
Like, got Edomites out there hunting, gunning them down. Why? But we know why. that perpetual hatred. Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
The enterprise is going to their undertakings, right? They put their hand to it. Evil. We read Micah 2, man. You know, they put their hand to evil, witchcraft.
Zay, what did you want?
You want this, bro? Buy your one or you want this right here?
I'll take it.
So you sitting down, you all right?
Read it again.
Oh.
Right on time.
Yeah. I knew this was
Come on, you know me, bro.
They go good? Yep. We'll do like 10 more minutes.
You got, man.
Oh, no, guys, like this is the book of Job 5 and verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty
Sorry, bro.
so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
My hands on
The Lord's going to disappoint, meaning it's going to come up short. again, bro, you imagine again how much effort how much money they spent on pushing this agenda to where it is now, man. I was right on the brink of, again, that one world order, man. Again, you go into Revelation 17 chapter, it says they have one mind, man. The elites are not, they might be beefing on certain stuff, they'll debate, but they know what the hell's going on, man. They want control of the earth in a way that you never thought possible, man. Be this device, man, on your right hand on your forehead, going to the scriptures, man. Or your left, whatever the hell you put that damn thing, man. Again, you go into the mind of the elites. If you search some of their quotes, man, you're going to out of the mouth, man. That's where the heart, intents comes from, man. So they say certain stuff, and it just goes over people's heads. How's it go? Let me see.
I think this shit a joke.
Yeah, not exactly. He's like, they because that's how my family was. When it was before I came to truth, but I had some family members in Mason, Masons and shit. And I would say that shit was evil and wicked, man. But he wasn't my cousin, but you know how Jake family is. But
You got a cousin ain't your cousin.
yeah, shit like that. But he's in the military, and he was a paratrooper, and a lot of those military dudes, police officers, they be in that shit. This was years ago. He was 32, so
It's like real fast. I saw an interview with this guy. I forgot what his name was, but he was like an important guy.
Yeah.
And he was saying how he said if not all, about 90% of the police force, they're all Masons.
That's true. That is true. Because when I used to work at the gym, there was an old retired New York cop. He had a big ass tattoo, white dude, Mason. I said, and I asked him about it.
Yep.
He don't like talking about it. He got a tattoo.
Yep.
Yeah. Your nakedness is revealed.
I know. I see.
We see you. We see the symbolisms.
Yeah.
Whenever you drive and you see the compass on the back of people's cars, it's like I'm driving behind a Mason.
Those are beyond low level. Yeah, those are that show it. Yeah, they're beyond because it's all about secrecy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But even back then, in the world, I knew that shit was evil. I remember I slept over his house, because we used to hang out with his son, with my cousin, whatever. I had the worst sleep paralysis I ever had in my life. Demonic. I was like, I've never seen over this man's house again. But they would joke, the family would say, because I forgot how I got brought up. We was all sitting talking and shit. He was like, they're just a bunch of old people that they're planning to take over the world and shit. I'm over here like, that's exactly what they're doing. He's laughing, but they think it's a joke, man.
It's a joke.
Tell Jake that they don't believe that shit, man. Because they're carnal.
Exactly. Then if you do believe it, now you gotta change up your spirit. You gotta change up how you're moving out here. And Jake don't want to do that.
Exactly. Yep. So here, this is the line. One of the lines David Rockefeller said, talking about the NWO. Trying to phrase it. He says it's going to be the supranational sovereignty of the intellectual elite and world bankers. So supranational sovereignty means they're over the government. That's why you have these technocrats, man.
Yeah.
They don't have to go and get voted in. But they're going to push policy. Because your world is going to be ruled by experts. When the whole seabed shit happened, what did the world push you? The media push you to trust the experts, trust the science. Because again, the supranational sovereignty of the intellectual and world bankers, man. So they're over the law, man. And sovereignty means power, man. So those think tanks, those policy councils, the WHO, and all these alphabet groups, man. They're pushing the direction of the earth, man. Not your so-called president, or your prime minister. It's these ruling class elites, man. Them and their think tanks. And those are the things that you can see. They got means you'll never be able to get access to, man. It'll never get out and be leaked. A whistleblower from, that was in a meeting with the elites. Nah, man, he gonna get off before he even thinks some shit like that. You're not gonna swim across no lake. They gonna get gunned down. They gonna send dogs on him. He's done, man. Why? Because again, that's their power and secrecy.
You seen the Kingsmen when they were on that private island? Yeah, remember he found out you're not really, your partner was actually an inside agent. I really brought him here to delete him. And he's like, this is flesh and bone, turned into a burger.
Grinder, yeah.
Put it in the grinder. Yeah, so they know there ain't no really getting out there.
And she had dude grind it up too.
Yeah, and ate him. Had his partner eat him.
Had his man. It's supposed to be friends. Ate him.
Yep.
So all these groups, man, that one more time.
We can't even go in certain museums. Like, we can't go to the Vatican and go to their museum or go to their archive or whatever you want to call it. They gonna say, nah, you're not authorized to come here.
Read that, Job.
This is the book of Job, chapter 5 and verse 12. It says, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
And again, how does Devils be able to get so much progress? It's because he don't need you to vote him in. You know, IMF, you know, the Federal Reserve. You don't vote for these people in power, man. You know, and they just push policy. You know, but these institutions, they were never brought on your best interest, man. You know, it's tax. You know, in the 1900s, you didn't get tax off your wages, man. You know, this shit was all your bread, man. But now what? After 1913, you know, you started getting taxed, man. You know,
a lot of these people, we can't even tell you their names. They just be given the authority and given power.
Yep. People in them WEF groups, you know, UN groups, Trilateral Commission. That don't got nothing to do with you everyday Americans. But again, they're pushing these policies, man. You know, making these laws. You know, if you don't do this by this year, you're gonna be fined or going to jail, man. You know, eventually, again, when they do the digital IDs, you can't fly no more, man, without the real ID. You know, you ain't going no domestic airport without a real ID. Do you think they at least got a real ID?
Yeah,
That's right.
and who's in like, because you gotta know everything's on a state-to-state basis. So if this state just said, nah, we're good, we're not doing that, and all these states said no, but no, your elected officials are in on it too. You know, so from the higher ups even to your little local officials, they enforce it because they believe in their way.
Exactly.
Their wine, their drum.
Relations 11, 2 ones at the man.
Mm-hmm. Revelation 13.
Yeah. 13 and 11.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 13 and verse 11. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
They're going to that 2-party system. You know, they play like they're not on the same team, but they all go to the same group, damn parties and shit.
They went to the same colleges.
They're all buddies.
You know, exactly. That's where they meet in those fraternities, those colleges.
Oh, there's pictures where they go back to summer camp.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like this person
was a tight group, man.
Yeah, it's a tight
They all
group.
grow up in the same neighborhoods.
Yeah. Private schools.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Private schools, same colleges.
It ain't some random guy you went to high school with.
And even higher up with the elites, they marry within themselves. Yeah. Second cousin, your third cousin.
Yep.
You know,
keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Yep. So they just play like they're just playing their part, man, playing their role. They acting like they're not, you know, in cahoots together. You know.
Yep.
So that 2 horns like a lamb. You know, Democratic and Republican parties, which back in the ancient Roman Empire was the plebeians and patricians.
Yeah.
It's the same song and dance, man.
Yep.
It's to control the everyday masses of the people, man. You know, I'm gonna vote for this guy because he cares about me. You know, he cares about my cause and he cares about the country. No, they don't. They all on payroll, man. And it says spake as a dragon. That's what we're coming to now, man. These draconian measures. That's what you're seeing with Trump. You know, again, harsh offenses harsh judgments for anything, man. Either you're gonna get heavy fines or heavy jail time, or you get put to death, man. Trump said he wants to bring back guillotine and shit. Capital punishment.
Fire and squad, lynching, guillotine, gas chambers. You could Google this. You could Google this.
That's again going to the mindset mentality they're going into, man. Because they're real close to the finish line, man. Grab it.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and you that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Let's talk about it.
Well, it's going earlier.
Like, I did that big Mason style on his truck.
Really?
Yeah. Low level.
But, you know, going to read it one more time.
Block it, bro.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Yep, which is the elect, right? We're rejoicing because why? Because after all this shit that's going on earth, we know eventually we're gonna win, man. You know, all this plotting and scheming this devil's been doing for hundreds of so odd years, it's all gonna fail him, man. And all it took for us in a short time just to believe the Lord's perfecting us, man. You know, and we're gonna be made perfect, get new bodies. This devil is so hard, going so hard to reach immortality. How do you reach immortality? Don't sin. Can you do that? No. He's a man of sin.
Hey, did you hear what Putin was whispering to Xi Jinping about how we can live forever? When they had that it was Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, and
North Korea.
yeah, and they was trying to say, what was he saying? Because he was, talking to him, and he was saying, yo, we have the capability now to live forever. You know?
I read something about Putin. They said he been bathing in deer's blood to stay youthful. So ain't no telling what they talking about living forever. They be coming up with all types of shit.
Yeah, you be wondering why how these devils live so long. It's because they got demons on them.
Yeah.
They got demons on them to live long to push the agenda of the Lord. Yeah. You know, motherfucker be 80. Look at Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? For example, this dude was a goofball, shitting on himself, couldn't walk up a damn airplane, but he's the president of the United States. Yeah. You know? How is he still alive? Because the Lord got a demon on him, man. Yeah. You know? Keep him on the earth to do what he got to do, man. You know? Same with all these elites, all these damn heart transplants.
Yeah, the Rothschild. I forgot what Rothschild. He had like 8 heart transplants. Mm-hmm. Now the average Americans, they wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have made it. All those.
Exactly. Jake could die for the dumbest shit. Jake could trip on the shoe and get hit by a car.
Matter of fact, Jake not even getting a heart transplant. He's not even gonna make that.
That's what John Q was all about.
Oh, John Q.
You know what I'm saying? Jake, they gonna make you wait. They gonna wait and see what elite needs their heart before you need it.
Yeah. So I saw, everybody talking about the lottery, being 1 billion, now 1.4, then
somebody win it?
Now it's 1.8.
Oh no, man.
1.8 on the way to work, on the way to camp today. They were talking about, a black person, well, he'll probably die.
Yeah, it's more than you know what
I mean? They're gonna, the curses are Esau they can put hit on them.
They'll kill him.
We're
gonna call back some old charge. Matter of fact, you owe us.
Yeah, let me get that. They're gonna seize his money, take his assets, wait till he buy everything with it, and just comes to take it. If a Jake win,
I said no. My mother speak myself. You'd be frightened to hit something like that, man.
Oh,
that's not even money.
And if you do get it, they definitely about to holler at you. Hey, come here.
What's public information? Unless you
put
a mask on or something.
Your face gonna be on the news.
You're gonna get hacked. You're gonna have somebody, people gonna know where you at.
You better leave the country or something.
Your family gonna be in danger. When Esau Edom go holler at you, hey, come here.
Yeah,
this is what you can do and this is what you can't do. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. What do you think you do with the athletes?
Yeah, exactly.
The entertainers.
That's true. That's true, because you can have money, but you still need permission to buy certain shit.
Exactly.
You don't buy everything.
A millionaire can't just come to a state or city in Babylon and say, I'm buying this street. Can't do it. I'm about to build the housing right here. They can't do it.
Yeah, there's a committee and everything.
Hey, I want to build a school. No, you're not allowed to do that.
Y'all seen Players Club?
Yeah.
You seen it? No, brother ain't seen it. Bill Bernie Mac say? He's all like, I'm gonna give you country niggas nothing. Right. Know that part?
Nothing.
That's his mindset. If you're gonna get something, what he wants you to have.
Exactly. Just think about the taxes on that. 1.8 billion. How much you gonna get taxed on that?
Right.
Yeah.
On top of that.
I mean, you bring home 800 million, but still, that's not realistic.
That'll get taxed too. You'll get taxed initially, then you get taxed the next year on.
Nah, it won't.
I read an article.
If you get a lump sum, you get taxed. So after 2 years, that's it.
I'm not sure, but you get taxed twice at least.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they go get their slice of the pie.
Because your tax bracket, then you go like 30.
Oh, because you'll owe.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll owe because you accrued all that extra. Yeah, I mean,
just give me $1 million.
It's still
call it quits.
It's still plenty of cheese.
It's too much money. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna hit that motherfucker though.
It's not realistic. That's generations money right there.
Oh,
Read
yeah.
about with them lottery winners. Not to stay off the topic, but they all go broke.
Yeah.
This is something demonic about that lottery.
Yeah. They'll get swindled. They'll get scammed.
Some crypto scams.
Somebody will be like, they'll put out regular diamonds. Say this diamond's worth $20 million. They just be buying stuff.
They act a fucking fool.
That shit rigged though, bro.
Yeah, it's weird, something weird.
You know, look, this committee winning ticket. We go to the store. We're gonna sell you the winning ticket here. You know, that's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like that.
You don't think so?
Nah,
This
it's
man
not.
controls who gets
It's a
fucking
ball
what.
though. It's a ball.
I mean, yeah, the numbers, but man. Like, we digress. Yeah.
Go ahead and get it.
The book of Revelation 12 and verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Whoa, so a lot of evil is going to happen to you people on earth. You're about to be a byproduct of the devil's under your agenda.
Yep.
You know, with the Georgia Guidestones, you forgot about that. He wants to get the earth down to 500 million. That's a lot of people that's going to get deleted, man.
You're dying.
So that's what's on the
Do you need
table,
it?
man. Too many
Let me know.
useless eaters. Too many people on the earth not producing. You know, they're gonna bring it down, man.
Hey, the situation with these National Guards getting sent to multiple states, it's not to fight crime. It's not to stop crime.
Yeah. It's just really to condition people.
Yeah.
You know, it's to condition people to get used to if a crisis happens, get used to a military presence.
Yeah.
You know, get used to this.
We warming you up and getting used to military being on your street. Don't be surprised.
Are they locking? You know, are they really locking people up? No, it's just a presence there. You know, they're showing their strength
and getting ready for when shit really do get real.
Yeah, people are really gonna either be, if people will get ready to start fighting them. That's gonna even justify them more because you're gonna have people in the same city say, "No, you guys need to stop fighting, bring more division and confusion." You know, but that'll come with time. You know.
It says, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Yep, so he's going to be rushing. You know, he has a fire on his ass to try to accomplish what, he's been asked to accomplish, man, which is ultimately impossible, man. He's been given an impossible task, yeah, and he got a timeline, man. 2030, this is going to be happening. 2035, Lord, we're not here that long, We all know all roads lead to the MOCD, man. It's all about that chip, The NWO is not going to be the NWO without that chip, man. So that's why we prophesied, keep watching. Certain legislation is being passed, the Genius Act and all this other stuff. Because why? Because the devil's pushing his agenda, man. We rejoice and we're glad because the Lord said in Jeremiah, we're going to have an expected end. We know how this thing going to play out, man. It look like the bad guys going to win, just like all the good movies, The villain looks like he's going to win it. He got a good head start. The hero's down and out. It looking like he's about to lose. And right when the enemy is about to, fulfill his belly, get his task accomplished, something happens, man. A miracle, man. And ultimately it's going to Yahushua and Tabina, man, the angels. Because the game is rigged, man. And it's rigged for the elect. Right now it looks like Esau's winning. He's doing what the hell he wants to do. Nobody's checking him. Just going off scot-free, But the Lord again is going to come down and bring that wrath, man. Missiles. And the return of Yahushua, man, and that fathership. And the host of angels, man. It's game over, man.
Pray, fast, repent.
All right.
And seek the Lord. And we're going to give all praises, honors, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash.
And double honors and blessings to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, GMS, that have the 100% truth. And shalom and blessings to you, Aki and Wa'akwa.
Shalom.
Shalom.